Hi guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Niladri Mukherjee and I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. I practice here in Guelph, Ontario. The month of March is being regarded as the Fraud Prevention Month by the College of Canada's Immigration Regulatory Authority, which is the CICC, the College of Immigration and Citizenship Consultants of Canada. Now, as a part of this initiative, the college has sent an email to all its licensed representatives, including myself. And that email is actually quite interesting because that highlights 20 important factors for the prospective immigrants. And those factors you should ideally keep in mind before you end up working with a licensed immigration consultant for your immigration to Canada. Now, I do remember that I have made a video on this topic, but I have listed down only 3 or 4 very important factors. But I believe this particular email is quite comprehensive because they have really looked into all the important aspects and given us 20 very specific aspects for us to let you know that you should keep in mind, right? So I'm just reading through the email that I have received, and we'll try to explain as and when we go. The very first point that it is talking about is that you should check your consultant's title. The title that a licensed immigration consultant should use is called Regulated Canadian Immigration Consultant, or RCIC. Right? So before you end up working with a consultant, you want to ensure that the person is licensed, and you should check the title that the person is used. The person can either use Regulated Canadian Immigration Consultant in full or can use its abbreviation, which is RCIC. Number 2, and I think this particular point is actually quite important. College is saying that a diploma is not enough. The person has to be licensed as well. What does it mean? It means that before you become a licensed immigration consultant, you have to go to a college here in Canada, a designated college here in Canada, to get yourself an immigration consultant diploma. Now, after you get the diploma, you have to go for an IELTS or a CELPIP exam, have to score CLB 9 in either of those, and then have to clear a very tough exam, in my opinion, which is called the Entry to Practice exam, and after that to become a licensed immigration consultant. So it is one thing for you to get a diploma, to basically enroll into a college to get yourself a diploma. It is altogether a different thing to get a diploma and get yourself licensed. So if somebody tells you that, I have gone to this college and I have got myself an immigration consultant diploma, that actually is not enough. The person has to be licensed as well. I think this point is quite actually important and interesting as well. The third point, always sign a service agreement. And I always say this, in all my videos. Before you make payment for an initial consultation or payment for a retainer, you should always sign the service agreement. So you should sign the service agreement, and your consultant should always countersign the service agreement, which is why in my website I do not have an easy link, an online payment link to pay, to make payment for the consultation. I always ensure that my client or my prospective client signs the service agreement. I countersign the service agreement, and only then the person makes the payment. At least I ensure to share the service agreement to all the prospective clients that will ask for a consultation with me, right? So signing a service agreement, be it for initial consultation or for a retainer, is very important. The college is also telling you that ensure that the service agreement is signed by both you and the immigration consultant. So this is a point that I've already said. So just sharing a service agreement is not probably enough. You should sign the service agreement and also ensure that your consultant signs the service agreement as well. Use of a representative form, which is called the form IMM 5476. So which is the form that gives your licensed immigration consultant an authority to represent you in IRCC. So always ensure that your consultant has the form signed by you. It is called IMM 5476, or the use of a representative form. Do not sign a blank form. Now, which is also very important. Now, a lot of time your consultant will just forward you a blank form for you to sign it, and he will say that I will sign it later. Do not ever sign a blank form. The form has to have the content, and you should read through the content, obviously, and only then put your signature onto it, right? Get a copy of all the forms that you have signed. So if you have signed a form with your consultant, make sure the consultant forwards the copy of all the forms to you. Avoid paying in cash. Do not pay money in cash. So I would add to it, I will say that never ever pay money to your consultant or anybody in cash. Always make sure to make an online payment or transfer fund to the bank account for you to have a proof. Now, if you make a payment to somebody, for example, a consultant, and the consultant gives you a written receipt, I will still tell you that online payment or paying money to a bank account is way better, because you then have an instant proof either through that online payment portal or from the bank. So avoid cash payment, or I would add to it saying that do not pay money in cash. Always ensure to pay either through the bank account directly or through the online payment through your credit card. Ensure that you get the receipt for the payment. Goes without saying, right? So if you're making a payment to somebody, you must ensure that the consultant is providing you the receipt for your payment. If you make an online payment, you should ideally get a receipt online automatically. If you make a bank transfer, make sure that you get an acknowledgement for that payment from your consultant. Be careful if a travel agent or a student advisor is offering you immigration advice. Now, this is very interesting, particularly in the Asian countries, where there will be a lot of, I would say, the travel agent offering you your advice for the visit visa, a lot of educational consultants that are providing you services for your study permit. These are absolutely not acceptable, and these are actually unlawful. So a travel agent or a visa consultant that is not licensed is not allowed to give you any advice either for free or for at a cost. So make sure you do not take any advice from any unlicensed consultant. So that is the whole point of that point. The second point, the next point is also quite interesting and very important for me to tell you. No one can guarantee the success of your application. This is very common. Can I get a guarantee? Can I get 100% assurance? And nobody is legally allowed to give you any sort of guarantee, warranty, assurance for the success of your application. Only the visa officer that is reviewing the application independently is legally allowed to give you a decision, right? So providing any sort of guarantee or warranty is illegal. If somebody tells you that come to me and I'll make sure your visa is approved 100%, it's a lie. Do not go to that person, right? No one can guarantee that your application will be approved. So this is a point that I have already mentioned. No one can guarantee that your application will be processed at a certain time. Again, what we can do, I think I have mentioned this point in my previous video as well. What we as a licensed immigration consultant can do is that we can tell you how long we can possibly take at our end to file your application, because we know the processing time at our end. We can always refer you to the IRCC processing time website to tell you the government is telling that your processing will take these many days, but we have no way, we have in no way can tell you that if you process it through me, your processing time will be faster. This is illegal. Only the government can give you a processing time on their website. No immigration consultant or a lawyer can give you a processing time at their end and can say that your processing will be faster if you get your visa processed from such and such consultant. This is an illegal statement to make. No one can influence the outcome of your immigration application, obviously. So if somebody tells you that, I know the immigration minister, I know this minister, this person, that person, this is a friend of mine, this is a buddy of mine, all BS. Nobody can influence an application decision. This is being the decision of an application is completely dependent on how strong that application is, and any and every officer that is reviewing the application is independent, is impartial to make an impartial judgment on an application. No immigration consultant can influence the success of an application. Do not engage with an immigration website that uses the college's corporate logo. This is super interesting to me as well. Now, the College of the CICC basically has a logo to it. Now, you must know that all the licensed immigration consultants, such as myself, we get an RCIC logo from the college, and that logo is to be retrieved from a specific designated website, and that logo is password protected. So I got the link to download the logo a few days back, and I also got a password to access that logo through a separate email, right? So I cannot use just the college logo, the CICC logo in anywhere. I have an RCIC logo, I can use that if I want. So if somebody is using the CICC logo on their website, that is the biggest sign of fraud. This is a very interesting point that the college has brought in. So you must remember that if anybody other than the college is using the CICC logo on their website or on their email signature, that's a sign of fraud. And licensed immigration consultant gets the link, a secured link to download a logo of RCIC. Or somebody is practicing in French, that person gets the French logo to download. But that is not a CICC logo, that's an RCIC logo, right? That logo the person can use, not the CICC logo. A very interesting point as well as important, you should keep in mind. Now, ensure that the person you are considering hiring has the professional liability insurance. Super important. I think many of you do not know that. To maintain our license, we have to pay a professional. We have to have a professional liability insurance. Now, the college has a designated third-party professional liability insurance company, and we have to pay our annual membership due to maintain our insurance. If we do not pay, if we do not basically pay the premium to maintain our insurance, we will lose our license. I will lose my license if I do not pay that. What does it, what does this professional liability insurance do? In a simple way, for example, if I commit some fraud, and if you as my client, you report me to the college and claim a, say for example, a compensation of $10,000, then the onus lies on the, basically the insurance company to pay you the damage on my behalf. So like the way a simple insurance thing works, but many of you do not know this. You must ask, if you think it is important, that whether the person is paying the liability insurance premium or not, and if needed, the person can also send you the proof of the receipt, right? That is also, I think a very important point that many people miss. But if need be, if you're not sure about certain credentials of the person, you should ask for the proof whether the person is paying for the professional liability insurance premium or not, and if need be, ask for the receipt of the same. Now, the person you are considering hiring should be able to answer your questions about immigration and the college's code of conduct, obviously. So, which is why I personally think it is super important for you to get into an initial consultation and then hire a licensed consultant. Now, I personally really do not believe in providing free consultations, because I do not believe that anything in this world is available for free, and a professional time should always be valued. So if you come to me for a professional consultation by paying the professional consultation fee, the onus lies on you, the responsibility lies on you to cross-check my knowledge, to ask me as many tough questions that you have, and basically to check whether I have the knowledge to represent you in that specific application or not. And it's not only for me, but for with anybody as well. So if you're working, if you're choosing to work with with a licensed immigration consultant, it is always a good idea to go for a consultation first. Ask as many detailed questions as you have about immigration, about the code of conduct and everything, and make sure you're convinced that the person is trustworthy enough, the person is knowledgeable enough for you to trust him for such an important thing such as your immigration. Now, okay, there is one point that I missed, which is there beforehand, is that immigration and job are two very different things. This is also something that I have already mentioned in quite a few of my videos. It is a very lucrative proposition if somebody tells you that, you come to me, I will give you a job and I will give you an immigration. You must understand that as a licensed immigration consultant, we are allowed to provide our services to you for your immigration. The employment is a completely separate aspect altogether. I am not professionally qualified enough, and neither do I have license to act as a recruitment consultant. So if somebody tells you that, I can arrange you with a job offer and I can also help you with with your immigration, that is a sign of fraud. And I believe this is the biggest fraud that happens in the Canadian immigration landscape these days. So I think I have said it before, and I'll repeat it one more time for you, is that you do not pay money to anybody in Canada to get a job offer. Even if you're working with a licensed recruitment consultant, that is a separate license altogether. Make sure you check the license of the person before you end up working with the person. So even if you're working with a licensed recruitment consultant, the recruitment consultant should help you for free. I repeat, because the recruitment consultant is not doing things for you for free. The person is getting compensated by the employer. So you do not pay money, neither to your consultant nor to your recruitment consultant, for you to help you with a job offer here in Canada. That is highly illegal, and in my opinion, that is probably the biggest fraud that happens in the industry. So that brings me to the last point, and that is you should not lie in your immigration application, even if you're encouraged to. So if your consultant is sort of telling you that, hide this information, you'll be benefited, do not ever do that. You should be honest, you should be transparent in your immigration application, because if you lie anything in your application, either knowingly or unknowingly, the onus would lie on you, right? So make sure you do not lie anywhere in the whole immigration application. So these are some of the important points that that the college has brought together. And I thought the responsibility lies on me as a licensed immigration consultant to share this with you so that you can save yourself as a potential fraud. The college is also asking us to use a couple of hashtags to ensure that we share this video. So I will try to use those hashtags in the video description. I think this particular video is quite interesting and important for all of you to go through in totality to ensure that you know everything what you are going through. If you want, I will also put the whole link down in the description below so that you can verify each and every whatever I've said in the college's website. If you need my professional assistance, send me an email, contact@nuvonation.ca. Shall be glad to help. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.